The Zenfone Max Pro. Asus's latest launch in the budget segment has created quite the buzz with its feature-rich internals as well as aggressive pricing. But how well does it stack up when pitted against the reigning king of the mid-range segment, the Redmi Note 5 Pro? What are the differences? Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and in today's video, let's try to find that. But before we begin, here's a card to our latest giveaway. I'll also be leaving a direct link in the description below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our daily content. That was a long line. Anyway, let's get to the video now. Now, there are a lot of similarities between these two phones, and they start right from the build. Both sport metal backs with dual cameras and a fingerprint sensor. Turn them over to the front and the similarities still continue. Both have 18:9 panels, Full HD Plus resolutions. Even the size remains the same at 5.99 inches. This means that both of these devices are great for media consumption. Although I do have to add that the Zenfone Max Pro comes with a 5-magnet bottom firing speaker and a passive sound amplifier called the Max Box. The combo does get pretty loud. The Redmi Note 5 Pro does have an IR blaster and support for 5 GHz Wi-Fi going for it. Moving on to the internals, we have the same powerful Snapdragon 636 running the show on both devices. As far as gaming goes, we've got Adreno 509 for GPU. All this powerful hardware is paired with either 332 or 464 RAM and storage on the Zenfone Max Pro. On the Redmi Note 5 Pro, we have 4 and 6 gig RAM variants coupled with 64 gigs of onboard storage. Now, if you need more storage, both these phones do provide that functionality. The Redmi Note 5 Pro has a hybrid SIM slot, while the Zenfone Max Pro provides a 3-slot tray, so there's support for 2 SIMs and a micro SD at the same time, so no trade-offs here. Powering all this, we have a 4000 mAh battery on the Redmi Note 5 Pro and an even bigger 5000 mAh battery on the Zenfone Max Pro. The battery life has already been very impressive on the Note 5 Pro. If you want to know more, check out our full review. I've been testing out the Zenfone Max Pro for a bit and I find the battery life a little better, thanks in large to the fact that the internals are almost the same on both phones, similar devices, but the higher capacity battery. Asus has also thrown in a 2A 10-watt charger with this one, so the charge times are faster. On the software side of things, the Redmi Note 5 Pro runs on MIUI 9.5 based on Android Nougat. We've talked about this a lot here on C4E Tech, so I'm sure you've seen it all before. But if you haven't, well, here's a card to our video again. Now this one's for the new features that the MIUI 9 update brought with it. The Zenfone Max Pro, on the other hand, is rocking a clean build of stock Android Oreo. We have a few UI features sprinkled in there like Zen motion gestures, but for the most part, the interface is left untouched. Sadly, I did run into some throttling issues here. After constant usage for a bit, the Zenfone Max did get a little stuttery. This seems to be an Asus optimization issue because the Redmi Note 5 Pro with the exact same internals doesn't exhibit any such kind of behavior. The fingerprint scanner speeds are also quite slow with the Zenfone Max Pro. I get that the phone is just released, so I do expect the performance to improve, but honestly, as of now, the software experience feels a little underwhelming. One thing worth mentioning here is that Asus stated they intend to provide 2 major Android version updates. At least that's what I understood from this at launch. Let's play that clip.
I also want to confirm to all a very big intention from Asus. We have a very strong intention to ensure that if Google keeps its schedules of upgrades, we would actually upgrade the Zenfone Max Pro up to the 2-level further OSs, which means Android P and hopefully Android Q is what Google should call the next OS. So we would be having a very strong intention to upgrade the Zenfone Max Pro up to Android Q.
The reason I played that clip is because I felt it's weird that Asus didn't just throw up a slide with 2 major updates guaranteed, but instead used phrases like intention to provide updates and Google schedules. I did reach out to Asus for clarification, and again I got the company line, and I quote, "We have strong intention to provide updates to Android P and Q as per Google schedule." Now what does that mean? Are they leaving a loophole for themselves to back out of it in the future? Well, I hope not, but I'm gonna let you guys decide. If Asus do deliver even just Android P, that should be a huge deal, especially for a phone priced this aggressively. Again, it's worth noting that the competition here is still on Android Nougat the entire year after Oreo went official. Anyway, moving on, let's now talk cameras. Both these phones sport dual camera setups to the back. The Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 12 megapixel primary shooter with 1.25 micron size pixels and an f2.2 aperture. That's coupled with a secondary 5 megapixel depth sensor. The Zenfone Max Pro, over here we've got a 13 megapixel primary sensor, 1.12 micron size pixels, f2.2 aperture again. Again, there is also a 5 megapixel depth sensor here. In our test, the Redmi Note 5 Pro has come out on top with regards to images, especially under low light. The EIS for video has helped it stay in the lead despite lacking support for 4K video, something that the Max Pro can do. But Asus does hit right back with pricing. In the past couple of years, Asus haven't been very competitive in the Indian market, but this time, at least with the price, they have absolutely nailed it. The base 332 variant comes in at 10,999, 464 at 12,999. That's a whole 1,000 rupees cheaper than the Redmi Note 5 Pro's 464 variant. Asus also have a 664 variant coming in soon with improved cameras, which is again 2,000 rupees cheaper than Xiaomi's 664. So overall, the Zenfone Max Pro seems to have a lot going for it if Asus can fix the fingerprint scanner and, more importantly, the throttling issues, and if camera aren't highest on your list of priorities, the Zenfone Max Pro seems to be the better bet. But if you wanted to get a phone today, right now, performance and cameras are high on your list of priorities, then the Redmi Note 5 Pro is still a great offering. That is, if you're able to buy one on those damn flash sales. It is what it is. By the way, if you do want to see an in-depth camera comparison or maybe a speed test, let us know in the comments below and we'll make it happen. So I guess that's it for this video. Xiaomi seems to have finally gotten stiff competition in this segment, a segment that kind of seemed to grow stagnant in the last few years. So that's always good for us, the end consumer. And if you guys were to pick between these two phones, what would you choose and why? Let me know in the comments below. And now, it is time I bid you adieu. If you hated this video, you know what to do. But if you did like it, then drop us a giant like, get subscribed, and click on that bell icon to become part of the C4E Tech notification squad. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off. You guys have a great day. Or if you're watching it at night, goodbye and good night.